It looks insanely good. Birria tacos. Like, just look at this.
These are so fire and so cheesy, you gotta make it. Get you some beef, then we're gonna add some salt on top. We're gonna cook this in some beef tallow. But I know most people don't have this, so just add some olive oil.
Oh my gosh, I was talking about these. Okay, first off, fire and cheesy? Yes, please. This guy's using brisket because he found it, but chuck roast works too. Love the beef tallow idea, but yeah, oil works. And the grease splash, real kitchen moments, right? But that sear is key.
Ain't gonna lie, that hurt, but we are gonna sear this. Chop up half an onion, then we're gonna chop up some tomatoes. Drop in some garlic seasoning, add in some salt and pepper too, with some tomato paste. De-seed your peppers, and then we're gonna add that to the pot. Add in some water, and we're gonna let this boil until it's soft. Now blend it up. We're gonna add our meat back in the pot, add some beef stock, add some water, add some rosemary, some bay leaves, seasonings, and your sauce, and then we're gonna let that cook for 3 to 4 hours until tender.
Dip your corn tortillas in that little consomme sauce thing.
Add some Oaxaca cheese, add some cilantro and onion. We're gonna add our beef on top, add some more of that sauce.
Pair with a consomme. These are some of the best tacos that you can make.
Seriously, that sizzle, the cheese, it's a whole vibe. And it's not just about making them at home. People are obsessed.
Birria tacos. Rainy day in LA, time to head to a taco truck. I got these Vampiro tacos, which are loaded with cheese, beef birria, then topped with red onion, coriander, and salsa. I also grabbed a consomme to dip the tacos in. It had an amazing crunch yet juiciness. This was delicious.
See? Taco trucks, rainy days, perfect combo. Look how loaded that is. And the dip into the consomme, that's like mandatory. She says, amazing crunch yet juiciness. That's the magic combo right there. Tender beef is everything. Okay, so it looks amazing, tastes amazing. Could you actually, like, make a living doing this, sell these yourself? You might think it's some complicated restaurant thing, but check this out.
Craziest like dopamine hit of my life. We set up and like within, was it like an hour and a half? All the food we prepped for the weekend we're done.
A taco stand business run by 4 friends where they sold out on their first day.
I'm ready.
An hour and a half. Sold out for the weekend on their first day? That's wild. Just 4 friends setting up shop.
And they're only 19.
It's the child.
But
they're basically kids. But look at that reaction. Speechless. That tells you everything about the tacos. Age ain't nothing but a number when the food's that good.
despite their young age, they still made tacos that left me speechless. Oh my god.
Wow. Dude, you gotta try this.
However, with rapid success comes many unexpected challenges.
We're like, dude, this is way too stressful. Like, I don't know if we want to do this. There's a lot of work. Because are we gonna be able to sustain like this?
And it really tested their friendship.
Okay, so maybe you're thinking, yeah, but it's probably super stressful. Maybe they got lucky. And yeah, they hit bumps.
Dude, I didn't even serve. They do.
But at the end of the day, it seems to be all worth it.
In the moment, it's like this, like the worst thing. But like when you look back on it, it's like, that's pretty cool that we were able to do this.
I do it for the love of the game, you know? I put my heart and soul into this, man. Like,
See? Totally normal startup chaos, stress, wondering if it's sustainable. That's part of the game for any business. But the point is, these young guys, fueled by passion and probably a lot of caffeine, made it happen. They saw the demand, learned the ropes, and started selling. So, if you've ever thought about starting a food hustle, something with huge potential that people clearly love, birria tacos might just be it. It's not some impossible dream, it's doable. And today, we're going to break down how, looking at tips and tricks from people already killing it online. Look, even if you're starting small, maybe just a pop-up or a truck like we'll see in a minute, having some kind of online spot is pretty key these days. You know, just a simple website where people can find your location, check your hours, maybe see the menu. But here's the thing, you got to make sure that site actually works when people look for it. Nothing kills buzz faster than a broken link or a site that's down. Luckily, there are tools out there that can help keep an eye on that stuff for you, even when you're just starting out and maybe don't have a big budget. Some services, like Uptime Card, actually offer free plans. They can alert you if your site goes offline and even give you some basic advice on the tech side of things, which is super helpful when you're figuring it all out. Anyway, speaking of figuring it all out from the ground up, this is Teddy Vasquez from Teddy's Tacos.
Teddy's Real Tacos. Teddy's Real Tacos, it's something unique, something different. Out here in Teddy's, we keep it very, 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 very simple. We only have 4 items on the menu, but we have this plate that I came up with. It's called the deluxe plate. 1 quesadilla, 1 molita, 1 taco, a tostada, and the side of the consomme. It stands out from anybody else because just the flavor is so rich in taste.
Okay, first thing, keep it simple. Love that. 4 main items. When you're starting, trying to do everything is a recipe for disaster. Focus on doing one thing or a few things really well. His thing is birria, and he nails that rich flavor.
We were one of the first ones in the birria. Obviously, there was a lot of people selling birria, but they were selling the typical way, like pozole, like menudo, like in a bowl. We're trying to do something different, trying to innovate, and that's when we came up with the idea of dipping the taco in the broth. People really loved it, and it worked out great, and we're still out here doing our best.
See? Innovation. Everyone else was doing birria in a bowl. He thought, how can I make this different? The dipping taco idea. Game changer. Sometimes it's just a small twist on something traditional that makes you stand out.
I'm going to do a taco. So is it tortillas? You put in the oily, greasy, juicy, delicious grease in the grill. Make sure you get 2 tortillas and you just slip them around. So you just have to wait for the tortilla to get nice and crispy to look ready for some taco. You have some meat that's already been chopped, ready. Grab the onions, cilantro, and some tacos.
Oh, the magic dip. Right into that top layer of fat from the consommé. That's where the color and flavor kick comes from. Double tortillas, getting them crispy on the grill. Yes. Then the meat, onions, cilantro, salsa. Standard, but it's that tortilla prep that makes it birria style.
You're eating it for sure. Sometimes I like to add some broth. There you go. This is how you make a taco. Put extra hot sauce. This is how I like it. And then dip the taco in the broth. Take a bite of it. So good. A combination of the hot sauce, the meat, the spices. If you don't get dirty, dripping, you're not eating it right.
And the final dip, gotta have the consommé on the side. And he's right. If you're not making a mess eating these, you're doing it wrong. That's part of the fun. Okay, looks delicious. But starting out wasn't easy. He faced a big challenge. People didn't even know what birria tacos were back then.
This location out here, it's very, very special because we started next door in my taco stand back in 2016. It's an old truck, can't really drive far. When I gotta choose the location, it was very, very hard in the beginning. People would stop by, but they were asking for burritos, for carne asada tacos, for al pastor tacos. I had none of that. I didn't want it to become like the rest of my competition.
This is huge. People wanted burritos. Carne asada, the usual stuff. He could have easily just added it to the menu, right? Make a quick buck. But no, he wanted to be different, stick to his vision. That takes guts when you're starting out and need cash.
I would like, hey sir, I don't have a burrito, I don't have a chicken, but hey, let me get you a free sample. And I would literally grab a taco in the consomme and hey, this is for you, try it out. You don't have to pay me, you just try it out. If you like it, it's on you. They will try the free sample and they're like, wow, this is good.
And this is how he did it. The free sample strategy. Brilliant. If you've got a killer product that people aren't familiar with, sometimes you just gotta get it in their mouths. Let the food speak for itself. A small cost up front for a potential loyal customer down the line. Smart. Sticking to your niche and letting people taste the magic. Key lessons there. Now, what about the actual cooking process behind the scenes? He obviously didn't want to give away all his secrets, but he shows a bit.
So we're about to make some birria. So we cook our food in a commissary kitchen, and from there we ship it out to different locations for our food trucks. So right now my mom and myself are the only ones that know the full recipe for Teddy's Red Tacos.
Commissary kitchen. That's common for food trucks. A central place to prep safely and consistently. And notice, only him and his mom know the whole recipe.
So this is the shoulder cut. This is the kind of meat that we use for our birria. We're gonna chop it up in pieces, like big portions like this, so we can throw in the hot. This is the size kind of licky. So this is our Chile California. We want the chiles to be nice and soft. So we let them sit overnight. You want them to have that, they can literally dissolve in your hand. That means they're ready.
Chuck roast, specific chili soaked properly. It's about the details. Consistency comes from using the right ingredients and following the process every single time.
So we have our pie with the meat that we just cut, chop it up. Now we want to throw in the tomatoes. We specifically use Roma tomatoes, and you want them to be this kind of red, not too soft and not too green. Now the most important thing. So this is our secret recipe. Can you smell it? So good, right? It has a whole bunch of spices, more spices, and a whole bunch of love. This is what differentiates us from any other birria spots, because you can Google how to do birria, but a little bit too much or too little of something, it doesn't quite up.
Specific tomatoes, and then the secret spice blend. He jokes about love, but that blend is his unique selling point. You can find basic birria recipes online, he says, but getting it just right, that's the art. That's your brand. Okay, so having a great consistent product is vital. But Teddy's story goes deeper. His motivation, his why, It's pretty intense and shows the kind of resilience you might need.
I felt in depression. Things kept getting worse and worse and worse. When I hit rock bottom, I met a friend in Tijuana, and he invited me out. He said, Teddy, whenever you want to come down, I'll teach you how to cook. And I did that. And I was in TJ. I started learning how to cook, and I fell in love with the process. And I started seeing myself and imagining, and I started talking to myself, well, Teddy, what if this does work? What if it's possible? And I started dreaming again, and I started believing again, and I started having hope. A year later, I come back to LA, to Los Angeles. An acquaintance came up to me and told me, I'm starting a food truck. For me, it was like a huge amount of money. I told him, you know what? I can't afford that. And he said, you know what? Can you come up with $15,000? So when you're broke, when you're struggling, $15,000 is a lot of money. The car I was driving, it wasn't under my mom's name. And I said, well, if I don't make the payment for 3 months, that'll be $2,100 that I can use towards the down payment. You know, it was a balance, but I was willing to risk it all. The car got repossessed, but I saved some money.
Wow, he really hit rock bottom. Depression, struggle, finding cooking was his way back, and then risking everything for that truck, literally letting his car get repossessed to scrape together the down payment. That's some serious commitment and belief in the idea.
When you have hit rock bottom, you're not afraid of what if things don't work out. When I started the business, I was already broke. So if things didn't work out, who cares? I'm broke. So when you're broke, the only place you can go is up.
This mindset right here, powerful. When you feel like you have nothing left to lose, you're less afraid to take big risks. If it didn't work out, he'd just be broke like he already was. Sometimes that desperation can fuel incredible drive. Incredible story. So product, niche, hustle, mindset. What else? Customer service. Sounds basic, but Teddy emphasizes it.
If you would ask me what may be the key to your success, I was so excited for people to come to Teddy's. I would literally come and greet people. Hey guys, welcome to Teddy's. Being nice opens a lot of doors.
It's the simple things. Being genuinely excited, greeting people, being nice. People remember how you make them feel, not just what they ate, especially from the owner. That personal touch goes a long way.
You know, we're going through a recession, but the fact that people are still coming back to us, given the fact that we have so much competition, that means a lot to me because it means we're providing people with great quality food, with great customer service.
Exactly. Good food plus good service equals repeat customers. Even when times are tough and competition is fierce, you gotta deliver on both. And clearly it works. People love Teddy's.
We're coming from Sacramento. Every time that we come to LA, like the first stop that we do is here. That we love these tacos. It's like very authentic. Everything is delicious. The quality is always good. The service is nice. So the best tacos in LA for sure.
First stop in LA. Always good quality. Service is nice. That's the payoff right there. Building that reputation takes time and effort, but it's invaluable. What's the big takeaway for someone watching this, thinking about starting their own birria hustle? Don't give up. Simple as that. It's going to be tough. You'll face challenges. Maybe not repossessed car level challenges, hopefully. Find your niche. Perfect your product. Treat people right. Believe in yourself even when things look bleak, and just keep pushing. Teddy's proof that you can build something amazing from scratch, even starting from the absolute bottom.